Today is Sunday, Parashat Tazria, Metzorah, and it's also the 12th day of the Omer, under the heading of Hod shebagevurah. Hod is the quality of Aaron HaKohen, who loved peace, he pursued peace, and he loved the people. He had a special appreciation for every person. And that's Hod shebagevurah. Gevurah has to do with discipline. So as we discipline others or we judge others, we have to be very careful that it comes from a point of love, of humility, of really wanting to help the other person, and rendering judgment in a way that is considerate and is humble, and not out of a position of arrogance, chas v'shalom. So this is, as we think the second week of the Omer about Gevurah, about strength and discipline, we always have to keep in mind also the aspect of what Aaron represented, Aaron HaKohen, which was the humility in appreciation and love for other people, and also the idea of seeking peace and loving peace, and that kind of humility, when it's within the context of discipline, then of course you'll be the best. And this is one of the aspects of the day of the 12th day of the Omer. The weeks between Pesach and Shavuot we read from Pirkei Avot, and this coming Shabbat we'll read from the second chapter. We'll take one or two Mishnayot here and explain them. Hu haya Omer, he used to say, so that was Hillel. Hillel used to say, En bur yerichet, a person who's a bore, has no knowledge at all whatsoever. He cannot be yerichet, afraid of sinning. He cannot be afraid of doing the wrong thing because he has no knowledge whatsoever. Velo am haaretz chasid, and a person who's a am haaretz, an ignoramus, cannot be a chassid, cannot be a pious person, because again, he does not have the knowledge to be able to be careful with every aspect in terms of doing things according to halacha and in terms of piety. Velo abbaishan lamed, and somebody who's timid, who's embarrassed to ask questions, he cannot learn. So if you don't understand something, ask the question. Be in a way inquisitive, curious to find out what the answer is, because if a person does not answer questions because he's embarrassed to ask, then he will not be able to learn. Velo akapdan melamed, and someone who's overly strict, a teacher who's so strict with the students, exaggerated its strictness, he cannot teach. He's not able to teach properly. You have to have a certain amount of tolerance to a certain extent. So of course discipline is important, but at the same time, if a person is overly strict, he cannot be teaching properly. Velo kol marbe bischora machkim, and not every person, marbe bischora means that he is very involved, very much so in business. Not such a person is not going to be able to necessarily become wiser. Not every person who adds more schora, more business, can become also wiser at the same time. There's also another explanation. Not everybody who's involved in the learning is going to be able to reach all the wisdom that is available there, but at least you'll have the effort there. However, when we speak about the idea of business and being involved in worldly activities, not every person that gets so involved in business and worldly activities is able to dedicate time to learn also and to gain wisdom. ובמקום שאין אנשים, ישתדל להיות איש. And in a place where there are no men, no people who are willing to take responsibility, and you have the ability to do what is necessary, then you have to make an effort to be ish, to be a man, in other words, to step up to the plate and take responsibility if you're able to, rather than just stay aloof and not get involved. So this was one of the Mishnayot here. Another Mishnah we learn. Rabbi Yossi Omer, Rabbi Yossi said, this is Mishnah 12, Yehi mamon chavercha haviv alecha keshelach. The property of your fellow man should be dear to you as your own. So in other words, don't be inconsiderate of the property of the others. You have to do something that benefits you. You have to be careful what's the impact on the property of others, and you have to be careful with that. ועדכן עצמך ללמוד תורה she'ena yerushalach. And prepare yourself to learn Torah. This is not something that falls to you from the sky without any effort, because ena yerushalach, it's not something that you inherit. Even if your father or grandfather was a Talmid Chacham, was a scholar, doesn't mean that you'll be automatically yourself, unless, of course, you invest effort. So, Torah learning requires effort and some amount of dedication and preparation. And all your actions, everything that you do should be for the sake of heaven. Yes, we do things that serve our interests, but ultimately, even if it serves your interests, it should be so that should be able to serve Hashem even in a better way, in a more generous way, in a way that you'll be able to, so that even whatever you do that would serve your interests, whether you have gain or profit from it, should be that you should be able to use that gain, that profit, to be able to serve Hashem even better. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen.